So how do you package your knowledge into a high-ticket offer without sounding salesy, overcomplicating things, or feeling like you are forcing people to buy from you? So that is what we are talking about today, because at some point you realize you have learned too much, you've helped too many people, you've done too many client projects to keep charging by the hour. So for this episode, I want to tell you that it's time to turn your experience into something structured, something that positions you as an expert and pays you for your results, not your time. So if you are a freelancer ready to grow beyond the done for you services, or a coach who wants to refine your offer so it truly stands out, this episode is going to show you exactly how to do it. So I totally understand you when you get worried about packaging your knowledge. I know for the first time it can feel scary. And you may be wondering things like, will anyone pay that much? Or what if my process is not clear enough? So that is something I've done, and I understand you fully. But here's something that I want you to remember. Your next level is not about doing more work. It's about doing it differently. You're doing the same thing, but doing it differently. So get your notebook and maybe a cup of tea, because by the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to turn what's in your head into a clear, high-value offer that clients want. So welcome back to another episode of the Freelancer's Mic. If you're new here, my name is Mong'are, a podcast visibility strategist helping B2B coaches and consultants land 5 to 7 qualified client opportunities every month using a podcast visibility strategy that builds authority while they speak. I know you're wondering, where did I take my usual intro? the usual one where I say I'm a virtual assistant helping freelancers build profitable careers online. We are doing the same thing, but doing it differently. And that is what the episode is about. So in our last episode, we talked about how to become a recurring revenue freelancer. Basically, how to stop chasing one-time gigs and build predictable income. So if you've not checked that episode, go cue it now. So today we are talking about how to package your knowledge into a high-ticket offer. And I remember when I was deep into client work, that is editing podcasts, writing show notes, handling social media calendars, all day, every day, I was so tired. I didn't know how to move beyond the done for you services. So one day I looked at my notebook and realized my notion for that case. Wait a minute. I created a system for podcast visibility, and not just random tasks, but a process that could be taught, repeated, and scaled. That is when I also realized that, okay, freelancers sell skills, experts sell systems. And that is exactly what this episode is all about today. Turning your skills or process into something high value that people will gladly pay for. What does it really mean to package your knowledge? I know that is the question you're asking, because I mentioned about packaging your knowledge into a high ticket. I want us to be clear on one thing. Packaging your knowledge doesn't mean slapping a big price tag on what you already do. It means structuring your experience in a way that gives clarity and transformation to your clients. I want you to think of it like this. A freelancer says, I'll manage your podcast. A coach says, I'll help you turn your podcast into a client-generating machine. You see what we did there? So that is same skill, different packaging. And that difference, it's where the high ticket lives. So what are the 3 steps to creating your high ticket offer? So let me break it down for you, and I'm going to break it down in the 3 simple steps that you will ever find on the internet. So number 1, identify your transformation. So when you're identifying your transformation, I want you to ask yourself, what problem do you consistently solve for people? Do not overthink, do not overcomplicate it. It could be helping coaches use podcasts to build, to attract clients, and as we talk about that, I already did an episode with Miriam about how to use podcasts to attract clients. You can go check it out. Number two, it could be helping freelancers transition into agency owners. Number three, it could be helping consultants build authority online. So your offer starts where your results live. That's the point. That's all about identifying your transformation. If you would like me to take a look at your podcast and help you find your client attracting system, book a free podcast visibility audit. You'll find the link in the show notes. Step 2, turn your transformation into a framework. Now that you've identified your transformation, it's time to turn it into a framework. So this is where you name your process. You give it a structure. So people pay for clarity and not confusion. So if you are confused in your process system, people will not pay for it. For example, my process is called the podcast visibility system. Inside it, there are steps for messaging, visibility, and conversion. It's clear and it's repeatable. And once I packaged it, I was like, "Esh, my value just shot up." So that is what it feels like to package your knowledge. Step 3, price for value, not effort. I know the moment you start packaging your skills, your knowledge, you're going to start thinking like, okay, the effort I'm putting into this is a lot. So for this one, we are packaging for value. You're not charging for hours, you're charging for outcome. What are people getting? If your system helps someone land clients, that is worthy way more than 10 hours of work. So stop asking, how much should I charge? And start asking, what is the result worthy? How much is the outcome? That is what you should be asking. For my B2B coaches and consultants listening to this episode, this is literally your business model. You already sell transformation, but here's where you stand out. When your framework is so clear that people remember it by name. Let's be honest about this. Authority is not built by how much you know. It's built by how clearly you communicate it. Because you may know a lot, you may know about podcasting, but if you don't know how to clearly communicate that one, nobody's going to buy that. Nobody's going to hire you. That is what makes your offer high ticket ready. And to the freelancers listening to this episode, and you are like, no, I'm not a coach. Listen, this is your natural progression. You've been doing the work hands-on, and now you have proved that your progress works. The next step is not to do more work. It's to teach, guide, and lead others through your system. It could be, maybe it's a coaching offer, maybe it's a done with you service, maybe it's a hybrid. But the point is, stop selling your hands and start selling your head. I hope you capture that. So how do you know you're ready for a high ticket offer? I know you've been listening to this and you're wondering, oh, how do I know I'm ready? I created a checklist for you. Here's a quick checklist that you're going to use when you want to create that high ticket offer. Number 1, you've gotten results for yourself or someone else. So if you've done something for someone and you have results, then you're ready. If you've done something for yourself and gotten results, then you're ready. Number 2, you can explain how these results happened. If you're able to explain how this one happened, if you did it to someone and you're able to explain to another person, this is how it happened, the process, then you're ready. Number 3, you are confident you can get someone through the same process. Are you confident enough? Like if someone asks you to explain the process, you will not be thinking twice like, okay, do I need someone's help to do this? You'll be doing it by yourself. If you ticked the 3 boxes, you are ready. Do not wait until everything is perfect. I know nobody's perfect, but they always say that perfection delays profit. So here's my personal reflection on this. So when I created my podcast visibility system, I decided that I'm going to do it for myself first. I'm going to use the Freelancers Mic podcast as a sample client. If I can land 5 to 7 qualified opportunities every month, or qualified opportunities a month through my own show, I can help others do the same. And that is what this quarter is all about. Proof through practice, because people trust what you've done, not what you plan to do. So if you're listening to this episode of the Freelancer's Mic, do not wait for a big following, nice setup, or 10 clients before you package your knowledge. Start with one offer, one clear transformation, and build from there. So if there is one thing that I want you to pick from this episode, is that packaging your knowledge is more than a pricing strategy. It's a mindset change from I do tasks to I deliver transformation. And once you make that change, everything shifts, everything changes completely. Your confidence, your positioning, your clients. So this week, I want you to reflect on one question. What result do people always thank you for? What outcome do people always thank you for? The answer to that is a gold mine. That is your high ticket offer waiting to be packaged. So, all right, that is it for today's episode of the Freelancer's Mic. If this episode helped you, share it with another freelancer, a coach who is ready to level up. If you would like me to take a look at your podcast and help you find your client attracting system, book a free podcast visibility audit. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, keep using your voice to build visibility, and remember, every small steps count when you're walking in purpose.
You gotta step out of the darkness if you wanna see the light. You gotta learn you can't get it wrong if you